Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 25 of the AllDriveNoDrop podcast. David is joining me, like usual. David, how's it going today?
It's going well. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm trying to throw in just like a different way to introduce the podcast every time. It's mostly because I just don't think about what I said last time. So just trying to, keep it fresh, It's been a busy week with the Yola launch. I think everyone and their brother and their mother had a review drop out today, and I'm sure there's more coming. And then there's like a ton of pre-hype review. Like I'm not exactly 100% sure on the rules that Yola threw out, but like I saw like a lot of reviews, but it's like basically I think you could kind of review the paddle as long as you didn't talk about the tech flex. Is that kind of what you understood? It seemed like that when I was like checking things out.
Wait for
For Yola.
I guess when we're releasing we're talking like March 4th, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're allowed to talk about everything at this point.
Yeah, no. I meant like before though.
Before. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I wish I could see how many paddles they sold. I bet they didn't sell as many as when the Gen 3 came out, though. That one seemed like it had more hype, don't you think? It seems like I don't think everyone that has a 3S is like, oh, yeah, I'm upgrading to the Pro 4 right this second. As before, like the Gen 3 like had a ton of hype. It just didn't feel as monumental this time. Maybe it's just like the information was out there longer, but like the power jump's not as big this time either, right? Like it's just I mean, I guess it's hard too, is like there's been so much excitement in the last 6 months for paddles, like eventually it will die out and people need a break. That's kind of I feel like that's kind of where I'm at. Like I need a break from all these paddles. Like we'll have some paddle talk this episode, but I got some other stuff to talk about too. Very important stuff. I don't know. Are you fatigued, or are you just like, I'm ready to go, give me some more paddles?
Oh man, I think I told you at the start of this year, like I was gonna try to take it easy on reviews, and take it easy on the channel because I was training for the High Rocks race. But then now it's been so tough on me because all these paddles keep coming out, and I feel like, well, I kind of feel like our viewers want to know, and so it's kind of irresponsible not to cover them. And so like each day has been tough. Like even just now, like, and this has been my schedule for basically the past like 2 months. Is like I just got home 30 minutes ago and I just ate dinner in like 20 minutes, hopped on here. And then right when we're done here, I'm going to play pickleball. And at that point, it's going to be 9:30. So I'm going to play for like 2 hours just to test some stuff because
this
man, like I'm gonna have this week.
He's so dedicated to his craft. He is willing to go with no sleep to play.
Yeah, the things I do to get bloopers, like and you show up sleep deprived, that's when you guys see all the bloopers.
Oh my gosh. There you go. He's bringing it all. And I know you did go to Texas this past weekend as for a bachelor party. I mean, are we even allowed to talk about any of that on the podcast, or
no, not
nothing
about that?
Okay.
But yeah, I did was gonna play with Brian from Building Pickleball. But he had like a morning run that day, and then he like texted me that morning. He said, "Yo, I'm not feeling it. I don't think I can play today." And I was like, "Oh, why don't we just grab lunch then?" Which worked out because I was kind of sleep deprived too. So I feel like if we did both play it just would have been bad. Like we'd just be playing for the sake of playing each other.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, I also didn't know how long I was gonna be able to play for. Because I was flying out that day, and there were talks amongst the bachelor party about like going to an earlier flight. And I wasn't sure like if it wasn't confirmed. So then like I was eating with Brian, and all of a sudden like an hour in, I get a call saying like, "Hey David, we're going to the airport early. We're gonna go standby for the earlier flight." And I was like, "All right." I guess I gotta go now. But it was definitely cool seeing Brian. Very cool guy. So we got to chat more about the Yola paddles. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but he did post his Yola stuff early, and so it was good. And then someone made a joke like, "Is Brian still alive? Like we haven't heard from him. Like did he get John Wick from Yola for accidentally posting his stuff early?" But no, Brian is alive and well.
Did he get like a call or a text or something from them, or it just was like,
yeah,
hey?
He got like a call from a 703 number, and he was like, "This is some spam number." Ignored it, and then then went to voicemail. And there's like a long voicemail. It goes, "Well, wait, this might not be spam. And then it was like, hey, you kind of violated the NDA. And I was like, oh, whoops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I imagine they didn't like do there. No harm's gonna come from it. Hopefully, like they didn't do it. They didn't say like, yeah, we're gonna take legal action against you because you violated the NDA. But
Yeah, we were like, to be fair, when we got there, they were kind of like pushing us to sign a bunch of stuff, and then we didn't know what we were signing. I didn't have a Josh from Spartus as my lawyer to like read the documents. So I signed a bunch of papers, and I walked in.
I think that's when you sign it as like a fake name, and you just don't sign your name, and they probably won't check, and then you're like, yeah.
If I signed it Ariana Wilson or something,
sign it Ariana Wilson. You're like, yeah, go check that signature on the NDA. See what it says. Interesting. Is he getting more into the review game then? Because I think he's done like a couple reviews recently, or is that kind of just like the major launches you think he's taking part in?
Mainly like the major launches. I was like asking him like what he was up to next. And just kind of checking out what he's been doing. I know he like does his channel full time, but I think his is more like encompassing like all of pickleball and like how the sports growing versus people like us are mainly just doing paddle reviews.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely like to do more than just paddles, but I feel like there's been so many paddles lately. It's been hard to get away from it. It's always like there's always something that's like a little bit different, a little interesting. I'm like, oh well, like, and people are asking about it, so I feel like obligated. Like, all right, well, now I got to keep going, keep going. But yeah, it does get weird. You're like, it's like, I just like, hopefully there's like a little bit of a break here, but I think there might be a little break here. Yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit break here until like maybe like mid-spring. But yeah, speaking about paddles, we do have, I just got the shipment today. I don't know if you got it yet of the Gearbox stuff.
Comes tomorrow. I got delayed.
So here's the Gearbox Pro Ultimate 14 millimeter, basically their replacement for the Pro Power, and this is coming out March 18th. What is today, like March 4th? I don't know if I'm going to have a review or first look, but definitely we'll talk about it next podcast.
That is soon.
I know. I feel like that's another thing. We've been getting super short turnarounds. Like, they're like, oh, we'll get the paddle for you, and then it comes out in 2 weeks. I'm like, and they think like, oh, that's plenty of time. But it's like, well, that's not the only thing I have to do. Like,
Yeah.
So more than 2 weeks would be great. But definitely we'll talk about this next time. Going to be $275, and you got the PB Core stamp there. I think it is, yep, USA approved, and it doesn't have the UPAA approved on it.
Is it quiet approved?
Yes, it does say quiet approved on it too. I don't know if you can see that quiet approved right
Very
there.
Small. Yeah.
Very small. So I don't even know if I have a ball by me to try to bounce it. I always have a ball somewhere. But, oh, I do. Yeah, I figured I had a ball. Let's see. I don't know. It still sounds...
Oh, we got to bounce another one now. Bounce the super court next to it.
All right. Also, super court. I guess it's louder. Well, how much louder?
I think the whatever audio thing we're doing to like reduce background noise is just making everything quiet, so I can barely hear it.
You can barely hear it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not great for TV here, but March 18th, they're going to be $275. So if you're looking for that, and I think they have some program too if you had a Pro Power. I don't know if that program's over. I can't keep track of that stuff. Because like Yola had a program too. I think it's like $100 for a new Pro 4 if you had a mod. You don't have to return the mod. That's pretty good. And then I assume we're allowed to show these, so I feel like I've seen them everywhere, so I'll just show them. They're new.
We just can't say the launch date or the price on this.
I don't even know the launch date and price, so that won't be hard to do. These are their other new paddles, the Edge Guard, and it's going to have the same core. And obviously this is a different surface face. I don't know if they're coming out and saying, but obviously it looks like Kevlar to me. I mean, right? I mean, doesn't it? Kevlar, black Kevlar with some carbon fiber.
No, I see what you're talking about, like the way the texture.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a black carbon fiber or black Kevlar and carbon fiber weave? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if they told me.
does 3K go like that? I forget.
Does 3K? I'm not sure, but they didn't tell me what the face material is, or at least I don't know, and I don't know if they want me to talk about it. So that's just me guessing.
I want to say my guess is it's probably gonna be 3K. I don't think they would use Kevlar.
You don't think so? Okay.
Yeah, we'll
3K?
see. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was another paddle that used a black Kevlar weave with carbon fiber, and it looked like this. So, but maybe it's just a different color carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing 3K just because they've used 3K before in the past.
Okay. So that's their elongated shape, and then they have their hybrid shape, the Integra. So that'll be cool to check out. Interested in that Integra with the edge guard. I think that will make it play a lot better having that edge guard. So
and that hybrid shape, it's just like shorter, right? It's not like any wider. Like, width, I think, is still the same.
You know what? They took my tape measure because my wife was doing something with it. I'm not sure. No, I getting blowed. Yeah, it kind of seems like it is. Just looking at it, it doesn't seem like it's any wider. So unfortunate there. Would like to be a little wider because I mean, you might as well get the benefit of having it be shorter with a little extra width. But
definitely agree there.
They also have dry grips. So interested to try this, and they had like an assortment of colors. Most like. I've been using like Turn Attack dry grips all my life, and they only had blue and like white and black. So it's cool to have different colored dry grips. But yeah, I mean, this is the same color as the Turn Attack or Turn a Dry, whatever, the blue. But just they threw a couple of those in there, and then they got the crew socks. Do you wear crew socks? Or are you wearing the short ankle socks?
I got ankle socks right now, but
okay. So I threw some crew socks in there. There's like 3 different pairs. I guess they're getting into the game. It says like compression and whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try them out. I only wear crew socks. I used to only wear ankle socks, but I've just been crew socking. That's probably because I just keep getting older, and that's just what I do now. So whatever. But yeah. So we'll see what that's all about, and we'll get to it. But next up, did you have a hot take for us this week?
Oh yeah, so I thought of this just because I was in Texas, and I think I might make people in Texas angry, or I don't know.
All right, I love it. But people in Texas get so angry about everything. You're not a country, okay? It's just a state. Rafa? It's probably you.
It's probably Rafa.
It's probably Rafa.
Also, what's his face? Matt from Chorus is probably from Texas. So hopefully he doesn't turn off my code.
I feel like Matt's really nice though. He's a really nice guy.
He might turn off my code though. That will be sad.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, but basically we've been researching barbecue. We went to this place called Franklin's. Okay. It's been on a lot of like travel shows, and for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, it's like you have to wait like 3 hours in line.
No.
Even if people like stake out like before it opens. So at this point, I don't know if it's like a tourist spot or if like the locals go somewhere else. But at least like because it was hyped up, and then we luckily like we heard the hack where you can actually order online. But you have to order like large quantities. So we ordered like $1,200 worth of barbecue. But this is for 20 people. So it was still
I was like, how many people did you have? $1,200.
Which is still like $60 a person.
Okay, that's not bad.
But yeah, so it's like I still factored in the wait time because like if I had gone by myself, like you can't really buy like that much meat and like for yourself, which you're ordering online. And then if you're like just like you and like a few friends, like you have to go as like a big group to get like all that meat. Okay. And when I just like factoring like why would anyone wait in line for this? Like I actually thought it was kind of gross. I thought the meat was like, very tender, but yeah, I had everything. I had like pulled pork, chopped beef, brisket, and the ribs. I thought the pulled pork was like good, but I was like, I wouldn't wait in line for that. And then the chopped beef I thought was good, and like the brisket was like it was very tender, but I thought it was so salty and fatty. And at first I was confused, like why did they give me pickles and like a jar of like raw onions? And then I realized like, oh, it's to cut the fat because this meat is like so fatty and salty. But like even just eating that and like with the white bread, I was like, I can't eat this. Like I gotta eat something else.
Well, it's very common to give pickles with barbecue. But was the sauce good? Did they have any good sauce?
I thought the sauce was good, but I just couldn't get past the meat. Like I just couldn't eat a lot of it.
Okay.
I'd eat like take a bite of the brisket, and my stomach just was like hurting.
Mm.
We all like went out and like bought Tums because we were not feeling good
Oh, so
afterwards.
no one really liked it. It was all just like,
Yeah, we were just like, why did we? It's like, well, we should have gone somewhere else. But
you know,
yeah, I don't know if it's a tourist spot though. But
I love barbecue, but I've also had kind of similar experiences. It's like barbecue is really hit or miss, and like sometimes I feel like they leave it sitting out, and it's just, or it could be really dry, or the flavor is not good, or their like sauce is off, and it's just like it seems like it shouldn't be that hard to get right, but man, and like you said, like if you get that wrong and it's been sitting out and that meat's not good, it ruins your, it just ruins your meal. It ruins your whole day. All right, don't go to Franklin's. You heard it here. Don't
oh
order
no, I think
$1,200.
the comments might tell me like, oh no, don't stick. But
I can't imagine that many
I
people have been. Come on. um, uh, yeah, I don't know. Shout out to City Barbecue,
yeah.
our local in Michigan. So
Yeah, it was
I,
mainly I think the quality was good. It was just like I just thought the salt was level was too high and the fat was too much for me.
maybe yeah, because you always hear like I know people argue like Texas barbecue, Missouri barbecue, like who's better, but I don't know. If it's going to be extra salty, that's not for me. I don't like super salty stuff. I can't do that. Uh, all right, Franklin barbecue. That's a no.
Yeah.
There's no food I would wait 3 hours in line for. Just like no, never, never. You basically have to like eat your meal to go wait in line, and then eat your food for 20 minutes, and you're done 20, 30 minutes. And no,
It's like half the day.
no, I'm not doing it. That's crazy. Uh, all right,
Fun fact
Franklin's.
though, I still can't comment on your videos, so I just stopped reading the comments on the podcast.
There you go. If you
Yeah.
guys talk about David's hot take and you didn't and you thought it was too hot, go to his channel and write him a comment on his latest video.
Yeah, yeah, do it
Don't
there.
even talk about the video. Watch the video though, but then talk about the hot take on his video and let him know. Because all I'm going to do is if you comment about the hot take, I'm just going to say it gets the people going, and I love it. I don't care if you don't agree with the hot take. That's kind of what the idea of a hot take is. Is not everyone's going to agree with it. So this will be interesting. I know we have a few Texas listeners, so we'll see what they say. So moving on, I guess kind of a hot take not really a hot take, but new different take for What the Pickle here, sponsored by Enhanced Pickleball, maker of the Dink Master Pro, one of my favorite training tools. David's hitting around with it too. We love the Dink Master Pro. Great for hands battles, dinking, just get a lot of different stuff with it. But my What the Pickle this week is, what can we do about people just like living in the kitchen? And what I mean by this is, like foot faulting. What can we do if someone is just a chronic foot faulter? They're taking like a whole step in the kitchen and they're volleying out of the air. Maybe they're even slamming it in your face. What are you supposed to do? And then you're like, hey, you're in the kitchen. And they're like, no, I'm not. And then like, as they take their foot out of the kitchen, as they're saying it, and there's really nothing you can do, right? Because it's their
Yeah.
call. And once in a while, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't even care if someone's like toes on the line, whatever. That's not that big of a deal to me. It's more like when you have the full foot in, even half a foot.
No, if you
It
like take a dink out of the air and you like paddle, it clearly hits the ground. Like
Yeah,
people
that
would
too.
understand
Because
the
basically
fall.
you're using the paddle to like balance yourself. Otherwise you would have, fallen in.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a problem. When I started reviewing, I was talking to a guy, and I think his company must have went, just never got started. But he was telling me he had these like sensors he could set up so that you could set them up on the line, and it would like beep or glow or something. Obviously, I guess it would be annoying to have it because you're stepping in when you're dinking if it's off the bounce, or you're not. Obviously, you can step in there, but there's just got to be a way. It doesn't have to be for like rec games, obviously, although that's kind of like the biggest problem with the foot vaulters. But something for tournaments that they could set up, because most tournaments don't have refs. It would be nice to have. I know I've talked to people that have had problems in tournaments and stuff, and it's like literally the person is going into the kitchen every single time, especially on like fourth shots, and it's like, okay, now I can't even hit a drop because you're basically gonna touch the net with your paddle because you're stepping in so far.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is exactly, if there's like sensors out there or something else, but definitely a problem. And I don't know how widespread the problem is. Have you encountered this quite a bit, or am I just?
Did you see the video of the story I posted the other day?
Oh yeah, you had what happened? So they won the point, and they stepped in the kitchen like that because it was like a full foot, right?
Yeah, so it was like 10-9 championship point for this like Road to Minors League, some tournament. Basically, like winner gets like a free paddle, and like your points go into some rankings for like the road.
So there's stuff on the line,
like minor league.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff on the line. It's 10-9, and then like the guy. I don't know if we can like put this on the screen later. If I send you the clip, but basically the guy like tries to. I think he was like thinking about earning. Steps in the kitchen. His foot isn't even like on the line. It's like straight up in the kitchen, and the guy like falls in. He knows he falls in. Hits the ball, comes back, and he's like, you see his body language. He's like, oh, I just fell in. But he didn't say anything. And then the other guy on the opponent's team, so he is like, okay, he stepped in. So he kind of like, hit the ball back a little bit. And then the guy who stepped in, his partner smashes it and wins the point. But then they were like, the other team was like, well, that dude just was in the kitchen. And the guy's like, his body language just like, he knows he stepped in, but he's like keeping quiet. And the other guy's like, oh no, we won the point. And they're like arguing, but luckily this place has an instant replay. So they've hit the instant replay, and then they show it. His foot is in the kitchen, and they start denying. They're like, oh, no, we still win the point. And the crowd is like cheering for that other team. And so they're also like, yeah, no, the game's over. Like, just accept that you lost. And obviously, like, the people that lost were just not happy. They're like, okay, you are clearly in the kitchen. You stepped in. It's on instant replay, and so I was like, I got to put this place on blast. Like,
wait, so they still took the win. They go back and they just,
they did not replay. Yeah. They saw the replay and still took the point. I was like, that is messed up.
Wow. Yeah. Cause I saw it. Like you can see on the guy's body language, like for sure he knows that he went in. Wow. That's shady. Don't be doing that. Especially, it's just over a paddle. Come on. David will hook you up with a paddle. He's got like 500. Come on.
No, I'll refer you to Chris Olsen.
Yeah, just TM Chris Olsen on Discord or Instagram and ask him for a paddle. He loves giving them out. Yeah. So next up, I was just gonna quickly talk about the Yobow here. It's called a massage pistol that I've been trying out, and actually it's come at a great time because I don't know what's going on, but my calf has, like, every time I play has not been feeling good. But it's super small. It's $140. Very small. I know. It's a massage pistol, guys. Come on. But yeah, it has different settings, but it's been working great. And like I've had different massage stuff in the past, but I haven't really used it just because like it's been, oh yeah, gotta hold it down. I was freaking out to turn it off. It's been great because it's small, comes in this case. It's easy. Like I've been bringing this in my work bag just so I can like have it throughout the day. And yeah, it's been great. It has different attachments too, but like honestly, I just use
about to ask.
Yeah, I use the classic. I don't really know. Like here's like a fork. I'm not really sure. Yeah. What we do with that, and then this is just like a hard plastic one, and then don't even know this is like a drill. So you got some different attachments. Are you a massage gun guy?
Which one can core crush my paddle faster?
Is that what you were looking for? Probably the drill. I would go with the drill if you're looking to core crush the paddle fastest. Actually, maybe I should try the drill. I don't know. It kind of scares me on the calf, but I
Yo,
just
you
like
want to put that on your Pro 4 paddle? See how long.
Yeah, we'll see if it core
Test the
crushes.
1,000 hits theory.
That, oh my gosh, that's the main question of the day from everyone. Are these gonna core crush? And I'm like, look, nobody knows yet. We don't have, like, there's just not enough people hitting these for enough time to like know how the quality is gonna hold up. Anyone who says that they know doesn't know. You know, it's a lie. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's just there's not enough time, right? Like, look at last time they had the paddles for a month. The Gen 3s, they had them a month before the launch, and they didn't catch it. So and I assume these are less likely to core crush than obviously than the Gen 3s, which were like, smushed into paddles with too big of a core size. So we
Because
don't
we
know.
got these paddles exactly 2 weeks ago from the time we're filming, and so like, just didn't really have time for it.
Yeah, there's just not enough time to know. So, they kind of not rushed it, but like, I guess it's just kind of the norm is like people have been getting paddles out to like 2-3 weeks before. The longest time I ever had with a paddle, oh man, when I hmm, I don't know what the longest time I've had with a paddle is. Oh, the Ruby 14 millimeter. I think I had like 2 months before the launch, which was crazy. That's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen these days.
I guess 11.624 for people that got the powers. We had them for a while.
That's true. People did have the powers for a while. I was not one. But let's get into most annoying things on the pickleball court. So I think I don't even remember what we talked about last time, but it just kind of brought up like, hey, I'm gonna rank the most annoying things on the court. And at first it was like, I think I was thinking like, oh, stuff someone does, but I kind of just like made it like anything that just could be annoying while you're playing pickleball, because it's not just people. There's other stuff that's going on too. I'm gonna go from my least annoying, doesn't really bother me. So I'm not even saying it's annoying. It's just least annoying to most annoying.
Okay.
And then stop me at any time if you want to react and you're like, I would have had that higher. Or if I get high, you're like, I would have had that lower. So least annoying, we're starting off at the bottom. Getting nasty Nelson. No problem for me. Go ahead and do it. You hit me once, you're never going to hit me again.
It also depends on who's doing it, but I think that's pretty low because that's also that one I would say is part of the game. But if it's like some random person doing it to me, I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like,
if they do it to me, the next thing I'm thinking, I can't wait to get them back. I've never had like someone randomly do it to me that I didn't know at all, or that I wouldn't expect it from. But go ahead and try. I don't know. Number 10, the person that says sorry. I think you said you say this, didn't you?
Yeah, I would place that lower. I was like, I don't mind that. Like,
I think it's second to last. It's second to last. It's pretty low.
I would put that under the nasty Nelson.
Okay, okay. I guess that's fair. Sometimes I feel like if it's said too much, I get annoyed. That's why I put it above. Next up, white walls. They don't bother me as much as other people. I'm really realizing how much people have a problem with white walls, but I guess I got supervision.
For me, it's mainly like white walls is fine when I'm playing, but like they could be better. But the main issue is like recording. Like I can't use that footage anymore because it's the ball just blends in. Yeah,
gotcha. 8, unsolicited advice, which I know might be like the top of some people's list. And for a while there, when I first started playing, it probably was the most annoying thing because it probably happened to me every time I was playing. Now it really doesn't happen to me that much, so maybe that's why it's like lower for me. And I understand that can be annoying. But now if someone does it to me, I'm just like, sure, bud, whatever. you keep just play the game. But
yeah, that's pretty low for me too.
Okay. Number 7, arguing about the score or server. I I haven't really had too big of a problem with this one lately, but there was someone in my past that I was playing with in a league, and it seemed to be an every time thing that somehow the score or the serve number just always worked out in his favor. And it was really annoying. There's actually a couple times where I thought he was going to get in a fight with someone over this. Not me. I walked away. I just said, I always just said like, hey man, if you need it, you take it. You take it.
Yeah. Just don't kick anyone in the head.
Don't kick anyone. It still annoys me though. Still annoys me. Number 6. Oh, this is what we talked about last week that kind of brought this list together. Whispering the score. This is what kind of, I guess, a combination of arguing about the score, but like, I just want everyone to be on the same page with the score. It really isn't like, oh, like, I just want to know like that everyone's on the same page, I guess, so we don't get any issues. Really not like a big deal, but kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I would place that like super low. For me, I'm like,
I know it's not.
Right.
Honestly, it probably should be lower. But I think when I was creating this list, you know, I wasn't able to swap stuff. Number 5, this one can get this one has the potential on any day to be my number 1. People walking on the court while you're playing a point. I literally ran into someone before while I'm playing a point because they're walking on the court like oblivious to what's going on. This is it's dangerous, and it's just super annoying when someone walks behind you in the middle of a point.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I feel like it's a lot of like people that just didn't have sports background.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's annoying.
Yeah, anyone watching this podcast isn't gonna do that. But like, jeez, don't watch. It's so annoying. Next up, not the same thing, but ball on the court. Like you're in a really good point, you got the advantage, and then you're just like ball. And then I'm sure I've had scenarios where there's been argument about like, oh, did that ball really affect you? Or there's a ball that's say you're outside and there's a ball that's in the corner of the fence, and they're like, you know, they're losing the point, and then they're like, oh no, ball, and you're like, what? Wait, the ball's not moving. The ball's not even moving. You can't call ball when it's in the corner of the fence. Like, so it's just, it can create some drama. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Like, you know, if it happens, obviously I'm going to hit a ball in another court. You're going to hit a ball in another court. But when people use it like as a dirty tactic, like if the ball's not moving and it's in the corner, or they say it impeded them when like you're smashing an overhead and they're like, oh no, there's a ball, I'd be like, that's when it can have potential to get annoying.
It just has to be like when it first happens, you just have to call it right there. And I think even if it doesn't like get in your way, as long as you call it when it happens, I'm okay with it, because it's also like you're gonna see it, and it's still kind of distracting when
you gotta call. So. I think the problem is like the delayed call.
Yeah, you can't wait on that.
Yeah. Next is one that affects me quite a bit indoors is bad lighting. Really affects me because I wear glasses. So bad lighting is a killer for my game, and really just like makes me not want to play if there's bad lighting. So,
also bad for your eyes too. Like bad for your eyesight.
That too. Dr. Tickle. Next one, the partner that just like eye rolls and sighs like whenever you do anything bad. So annoying. Like I'm like, damn, like, have you ever played team sports before? Like, oh, come on. But yeah, that person, I don't want to play with them.
I agree with that.
Super annoying. Super annoying.
Definitely, one I would add on to that is like the partner that like doesn't get out of your way. So if like you're on the left side and you're like reaching for an overhead and they also go for it, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh man.
And that's why I don't like to play the left side that much in rec play. I was like, I'll just stay on the right because I don't know who's gonna go for what, and we're just gonna get hurt.
Yeah, there's always someone that wants to, you know, come on over there. And then my number 1, which was what the Pickle was, the person that lives in the kitchen. And is hitting foot faults all the time. So that's my number one most annoying, when someone's really like abusing that. And I'm not even really watching it, but like if you ever watch like people playing, you'll see it every game, and then you'll see some people that are just constantly like half a foot in, and I mean that's basically, it is cheating. So not the most fun to play against, and you don't even know. Maybe you're thinking like, dang, I'm just off this game, but no, maybe they're just reaching in and stepping in the kitchen, and you won't even know, because if you're not paying attention to it. So anything that stood out as crazy on that list that you would have had higher or lower, or anything you want to add?
I think personally, I would put Nasty Nelson higher.
Okay. It
Compared to a
would
lot of
annoy
things.
you.
I think
I
the main thing is like, if it's with friends, like I get it, but I guess my thing is a lot of times like we have the court for a limited amount of time, and if you're just wasting it trying to hit me, that's just kind of like a waste of the other three people's time to do that.
Yeah.
So I get it as like a joke, but then like when you're always doing it, that's when I'm like, all right, like
Oh yeah.
it
If
was
they're
funny
doing
the
it
first
like 10
time.
times, like a game,
Yeah.
like a session or something, I hear you. I I probably throw it out, like very few people actually do it to, but I'll throw it out only like once, maybe twice, and that's it. I won't like sit there and spam it and be like Nasty Nelson, Nasty Nelson.
Yeah.
But I could see how that would be really annoying, because then you're not even playing the game anymore. You're just
Yeah.
like, all right, so we're just trying to hit each other with the serve. How about we just line up and play butts up or something, and then we can
Yeah.
get this over with.
Once you get
Uh,
once the ripple's legal, then you can just start doing it.
yeah, exactly. Um, that's
But
all
the
I
one,
have for. Did you have
yeah, the
another one?
one, I would put, I guess you didn't have this on the list, but like when like your opponent is just like cheering after like mistakes,
Mm,
like if you miss a routine dink and they just kind of get in your, I think we talked about this last time
yeah,
too,
that
but
that one that was one of the hot takes that got a lot of people going.
oh, it did? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got a lot of people
Uh,
going.
but
It
yeah,
did.
it's like it's just I don't know. I just think it's bad form. Like if the crowd does it, fine. Like that's what the
Yeah.
crowd's for. But like when the other team's doing it, like oh, I just missed a third shot drop or I missed a serve, then like when they get in my face, I'm like, what is that? Like what is like you didn't really earn that point, so you don't
Yeah.
really deserve the right to
Yeah.
cheer. But
I can't see you being a confrontational person on the court either. Like, are you out there trash talking people that you don't know that well, or are you?
you know, it only happened like once because someone was basically doing that to me. Like I missed an overhead and he like kind of got in my face, and then so I wasn't too
Oh,
happy about that, and then so I started doing it to him, and then now we're no longer friends.
oh, it was a friend. Okay,
Well,
nice.
not really a friend, but it was like
But it was someone you
someone,
played with.
yeah. And then it's
Okay.
like, and I was like, oh man, I don't get invited out here anymore. But everyone's like, yeah, I wonder why, David. And they're like, yeah, you chose to die on that hill, but
Hey,
it's
there's
what you wanted.
yeah, definitely people out there that love to dish it out but can't take it. But you got to stand up for yourself.
Hmm.
No worries there. Um, any other you wanted to add?
That was the main one. That's like the
Okay.
one for me. I put at number one.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
that's
it
fair.
happened a lot. Actually, that when we were talking about what the pickle, like the team that was in the kitchen, I think like one thing that was one thing they would do. But you know how he's mentioned there's a replay system. Apparently, like every point they won, they would hit the replay button because it's like save. It would save it to your like you get the email of the clip. So that's what that facility does. And then they're basically like,
Oh,
every point they're just like pressing it.
interesting. There's a new facility that's, is it Pod Play? Is that what the system's called?
It might be.
Okay. I wonder, because there's a place by me that's going to have or I think they already have it, Pod Play. And I wonder if you can hit like a save button on there too. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Cool. Well, I guess they forgot to save that last clip. So
Oh no, the
hopefully.
other my friends actually saved it, so that's why I
Oh,
have
okay.
it.
No,
But
but I
yeah,
mean, like, yeah, but so they were all into that video system until it went against them. It's
yeah.
interesting. Well, I guess we've all been there. Um, my last thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll kind of make it brief since there's been a whole bunch of Yola talk already. But I played a Moneyball tournament that me and my friend put on,
Mm,
with the Pro 4 Hyperion 16 millimeter,
mm,
and it was good. Like everything went well, but like we did a format where no one had a set partner. I'm not even going to talk about the paddle performed well. You can go watch my review if you want to hear more about that. I'm going to talk about the format. So we had 12 people, 3 courts, and we did no partners. So everyone came by themselves, and we called it an up and down the river format. We all drew numbers. So 1 through 4 were on one court, 5 through 8, 9 through 12. That's how we started the process. And then winners moved up and split. And then obviously if you're on the court number 1, you just split because you can't move up. And then losers move down and split. So basically you're never going to play with the same person 2 times in a row. And everyone's just moving around the whole time. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, I've done something like this before.
Okay. And I think a lot of people, like, it's getting more popular. It's easier to organize because you don't have to worry about, like, having people find partners. So, and then we did 8 games, and whoever won the most games during that time was going to take first. And then we paid out 1 through 4. So we paid out first and second the same, and then third and fourth the same. And then tiebreaker was point differential, so we were just keeping track of the wins. I guess we could have kept track of the losses too to do point differential, but we just kept track of if you won, you wrote down your score. And it came down to my last game. I actually didn't even know this. I needed to win my last game to win the Moneyball. And we won, I think, like 11-9. We played games to 11. And yeah, so I didn't even have any pressure on me because I didn't even know. I wasn't really like, I was writing down my score, but I guess it just was like tired at that point and wasn't really paying attention. So I won it by 1 game, and then there was a 5-way tie for second. So I would assume that meant we got like a pretty good skill level, like equal skill level to have a 5-way tie for second, right? Like I'm hoping that means, and I think a couple people like just behind with 4 wins, so they had 5 wins. I went 6-2. But I think it's a good format. I liked it. Obviously you need a group of people that kind of like you need to know that, like, you don't need to know everyone, but you need to know who you're inviting. So like, either I knew the people or my friend knew the people, and make sure that you're not going to get any people that are going to get angry because you have to play with every person pretty much. Yeah. So I think it keeps things interesting. It keeps things moving fast and fair, I would say, and it makes you prove that you can play with anyone and win. So I like the format a lot. I like having a set partner too. That's always fun. But I think it's a good like twist if you're looking to throw a different type of tournament. And I think everyone takes it a little bit more seriously when you put a little bit of money on the line. We did a small amount, but still makes it, people focused. I think if you get like a rec play session, sometimes by the end people aren't as focused, but for this, everyone was pretty focused and taking it seriously. So recommend trying that out if anyone's looking for and it's much easier to put together because you can just start inviting people. You don't have to worry about like, oh, did you get a partner yet? Did you get a partner yet? You just get 12 people, or you could get 16, 20, whatever, and run it. So highly recommend trying that out.
Yeah. I've never seen it done something like I actually do it like every Friday, but it's not a Moneyball or tournament. Okay. It's just like a rec play.
Yeah.
Fun fact, one time I was reviewing a paddle and I literally lost every single game and I was like on the last score. I won't say which paddle it was. I don't want to put them on blast. But I was like doing so bad. Like everyone was just like, hey, David, I didn't see you all night. Where were you? And I was like, shut up. You knew exactly where I was. Didn't win a single game. I kept splitting with my partner. And then I was like, every time my partner went to the other side, they would magically get better. And I was like, yeah, I was so upset that day.
Was it the paddle though, or was it both you and the paddle?
I will say it's the paddle, but it's probably me.
Okay. I don't know. I've had experiences like that too. And I'm like, well, it might not be all the paddle, but I was like, this paddle's not helping right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely not helping me.
Yep.
And so I don't know. But yeah, that was it. That was my experience, and you can hear more about that in the review if you're interested about the Joola Pro 4. But that's all I've got. We're keeping it a little bit shorter this time. Did you have any last minute thoughts, David?
No, I got to get ready to get started on playing, but I test some paddles.
All right. He's off to the courts. Who knows what he's playing with? We'll keep it a secret mystery for next time. All right, everyone, have a great week. Enjoy life.